What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Grizzly post-match reaction. But this time I'm doing it live. Normally I do it as a pre-record in the car afterwards, so I don't have to face the comments and what's the word? Yeah, the comments and whatever. I just like to just sort of do it in my own time, give my opinions and get over and done with. But after today's shocking events at Anfield, I thought we'd do it live. I'm here for you lot. I hope you guys are here for me. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. What went wrong at Anfield today? Liverpool Football Club 0, Nottingham Forest 1. An absolute shocking result and performance. And we're here to discuss it and talk about it. And of course, we'll have rival fans here to cuss the shit out of us, me, whatever. You have to accept that. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. People, smash a like. Smash a like as you enter. Smash a like for every LFC tier, because there is a lot of LFC tiers. International duty jet lag, innit? Hacker says, yeah, that was one way of looking at it. And we'll get into the sort of selections and what he could have done better, what he should have done better in terms of team selections. Did those individuals let him down? Rizza says, lack of plan B, lads. Can't rock up to San Siro playing like that. No, we definitely can't. Total Eclipse, big up Total Eclipse, says, Grizzly was dreadful today. I mean, that performance was absolutely shameful. No, there's no getting away from it. There's no getting away from it. That was one of the worst performances that I can remember at Anfield. Slot or no slot, Klopp or no Klopp. I can't remember a performance as bad as that in terms of, like, how many players were above 5? Can you think of any players that you want to give above 5 in terms of a rating? But we'll get into all that. Big up, people. As I said, smash a like on the way in. Hope you guys are all cool. And hope you guys are all recovered, or not recovered. I don't think we're going to recover from that until we play our next league game. Not even the Champions League. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't know what you guys think. But winning in the San Siro still ain't going to make up for it, because the league's where it's at. It's all about the league for me and our position. Yeah, people are saying maybe Gravenberch 5. Yeah, Gravenberch was okay. I thought Diaz was our best. Virgil, before he started giving the ball away and trying maybe force the play. Big up PIDs in the building. Smash likes, people, for Everton doing their best to cheer us up. Do you know what, PID? You know, the funny thing is, yeah, I'm beyond that, man. I don't give a shit about Everton cheering us up and all that kind of business. And even United, to a certain extent, they're none of our business. They're none of our business. That doesn't mean I think we were going to have a title challenge this season and we were going to be up there. But it's unacceptable, man. Losing at home to Nottingham Forest is unacceptable. And no amount of Everton bullshit can cheer me up. You guys can cheer me up, though. Cheer me up, people. Even if you're here to banter me, cheer me up. Hit me with something. I mean, because I'm not. Liverpool will still finish in the top 4. It's his first season, so don't expect too much. It's a learning curve. Look, absolutely. My predictions or my thoughts for the season haven't changed. I always thought 3rd with a trophy, and I'll be more than happy. Now, that's not lowering our standards. That's being realistic. A manager in his first season, as much as people want to put pressure on him, it's not going to be easy. People want to talk about, he's done this in the Dutch league and this and that, and want to compare him to others, but it's always going to be difficult. So that's my expectations. Were 3rd and a trophy. 3rd and a trophy. PID says, I hear you. I'm eating, bro. I'm eating. I don't know what they are, man. Poppers, chicken poppers. I'm eating chicken poppers. Yeah, we're gonna get into that, man. We're gonna get into the subs. Can't beat Nottingham Forest at home. What will happen against AC Milan away? This needs to be a wake up call. 100%. 100%. Wake up call. And it's good to have wake up calls early part of the season, game week 4. Hopefully, he knows what it's all about, what this league's about. Final third play was absolutely peaceful. Colin, I couldn't agree with you more. It was one of the worst attacking displays I've ever seen, which probably takes me into my opening part of the reaction and the lineups. Let me bring up the lineups and tell you what I thought or when I saw the lineups. Obviously, people are talking about sort of expecting rotation. I believe 7 of our players played maximum minutes for their national teams. 7 of our starting lineup played maximum minutes in midweek. So I was very surprised that we went with the same lineup. I thought the attackers would get more of a chance. Oh, shut up, man. See you tomorrow. I don't know why you getting excited and happy. Get out, man. Get out. Can you not turn up tomorrow? Can you miss your train or something, man? Stay in Manchester. What he's referring to, we've got a watch along tomorrow with the Big Six, North London derby. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so fucking not looking forward to it. And these guys are going to do my head in, man. Because we're a big team. So all the focus is going to be on us. Anyway, look, I know everyone's going to say hindsight, blah, 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 blah. For me, I was concerned that he hasn't rotated. We know Alexis McAllister was, what's the word? Struggling with Argentina in terms of was sure of playing. Didn't play the second game. Didn't start the second game. We know Ryan Gravenberch has been sort of reintegrated into the Dutch national team and played loads of minutes. I believe he played both games. We know Trent had a renaissance with the England team, played the full game. Virgil, captain of Dutch team. Robertson, Salah, Egypt. Szoboszlai, his native Hungary. Luis Diaz, Colombia. Diogo Jota, I think he played one of the two. I'm not sure. But I thought the likes of Gakpo and Nunes should have been given a chance. Of course, the injury to Harvey Elliott meant that he wasn't in the squad. I actually think this was a Harvey Elliott kind of game, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But then you look at the Forest team, and they've been playing Elanga and Hudson-Odoi with Michael Wood and Gibbs White just behind. They thought, forget that. The whole lineup changed in terms of, I beg your pardon. The 4-pronged attack was no more. It was just Chris Wood and Morgan's Gibb White. If you could call him a support striker, he wasn't. He was just harassing. His work rate was immense. I'm not going to lie. His work rate in trying to cover the ball getting out to McAllister and Gravenberch was insane. Fair play to Nuno and his game plan. It worked a treat. Elliot Anderson is a midfielder, played out on the wing. Nicholas Dominguez was hard working. And they just cut off all the spaces. Absolutely. And that's not I'm not saying you're not allowed to do that. You can do what you want. That's how the way you do it. You know, it's our job to break them down. I thought it was a sluggish start. I thought it was. It was one of those. It was one of those games where I knew it's going to be a game of patience. I tweeted it, and everyone was like, "Oh, shut up, Grizz! 4-0, 3-0, predicting, all these kind of games." I said we're going to concede today. But I think it's going to have to be a game of patience, and I see us scraping through 2-1. Well, I knew I got we're going to concede part right. I knew it's going to be a game of patience, but my God, Liverpool really tested our patience. I don't know where to start and how to analyze it at the moment. But we were soft. I think soft is a good way of starting. I thought we were soft. I thought they were very up for it. Their captain Yates, who's pretty much a thug. He's pretty much a thug, man. He went around bullying us, fouling us, stopping the play, no fluidity. But again, that's their job. That's their rights. They're allowed to play like that. You don't expect a bed of roses. You don't expect them to make it easy for you. You expect to make it them to make it hard for you. And they did. Fair play to them. I thought their two fullbacks, Moreno and Elena, is it? What's his name? Ola Aina. I thought they were brilliant. We'll get onto the Liverpool sort of side of things in terms of our players, but yeah, look, Yates is a no card fouling machine, bro. Um, he was, he's like that, bro. He's like that's how he plays. Um, Moreno and Aina, as I said, who, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, is he a left footer but was playing on the right? Now, I think that was very, very good thinking from Nuno, if that's true, because we know Diaz very rarely goes on the outside. We know Diaz always likes to come on the inside. And if Aina is naturally left footed, then that was a very good move by him. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it. If that was the case, then that was a very good move by him. Because he was very good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought Diaz was our best option, best attacking option in that first half. Hit the like button, people, as you come in, and we're gonna get into this. So look, the game starts off. I thought it was the pace of the game was suited Forest down to the ground, stop, start. We had control, but it was passive. It was dead control. There was no energy. There was no pace. We didn't look threatening. And yeah, apart from the Diaz chance again, which hits the post. I don't know which minute that is, but Diaz hits the post. But that's not through great play or anything. That's just through sheer tenacity and typical Luis Diaz, not giving up on a lost cause. He chases the ball, chases the defender into that sort of left wing, deep left wing. I think it was Yates actually. Wins the ball brilliantly like he does. And then cuts inside. He has a pass option like so many of our wingers or our two wingers did. He has an option of Dominic Szoboszlai just waiting there, but no problem. He cuts inside, takes a shot, hits the post. Obviously, that changes the game if it goes in, but it doesn't. And help me out here, guys. I don't really remember anything else of note from us. Like in terms of our play, in terms of our ingenuity, our invention. I don't really recall or remember making any chance or anything like that after that for the remainder of that half. They're not saying that they were any threat, but they weren't here to have a threat in the opening hour or so. I think their game plan was absolutely spot on. Nuno's game plan was to make it a non-event for the best part of an hour, be in the game at an hour, and that's exactly what happened. They were in the game. Restricted us, but I think we restricted ourselves, guys, and this is where I'm going to start sort of calling out certain players on our side. I thought we restricted ourselves. I thought McAllister, Szoboszlai, Salah, and Jota were real bad in that first half. Well, they were bad throughout the game, but guys, the amount of balls that we were playing either behind the forwards or behind the midfielders or the attackers, the pace of the pass, it was bad as it gets. It was bad as it gets and bad as I've seen. Jota and Salah's performance, guys, as a combination and as a duo and as a front two, was as bad as it's ever been. I don't recall them having any form of control or a move of no any understanding. And Szoboszlai, you can add Szoboszlai to that as well. Szoboszlai, Jota, and Salah. And obviously, as I said, Diaz was the only one who was showing something, continuing the good form that he's had from the start of the season, but no one else. There was serious tempo issues. Our tempo was too slow, and yeah, this is going to be a good question for Slot in terms of how he is going to insert urgency and pace to our play, because we know that he's a control master in terms of similar to Pep, how he controls the pace of the game. He doesn't like counterattacks against our team, and we didn't really at that point. Anyway, we're going to get onto the counterattacks in the second half, but there was too many disasters, man, in that first half. I don't think Trent was overly great. Um, it's very bad. And you think to yourself, okay, we've been not great in first halves in a few games, but then we've always come out second half and totally upped our levels, the pace, the passing, the accuracy, the intensity, everything has gone up twofold in every second half. So you'd like to think, all right, international duty, coming back, players, blah, 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 blah. Get about our system on that first 45 minutes. And then let's just really raise it in the second half. And let's just do what we got to do in the second half and get this win out of the way and get the 3 points, because it's not always about performances. Sometimes you just got to get the job done. And I don't know about you guys, but that second half was worse. It got worse. It was a horror show. I don't recall any move or any chance or anything for the crowd to even get excited in that second half. And then they make the changes and it invigorates them. Hudson-Odoi, Elanga, come on, who have been starting most of their games. And it lifts them. And their game plan was, let's take it to that hour and then let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Let me just take this call, even though he knows I'm live. Don't you know I'm live? I'm live, my brother. I'm live. Thank you very much. I'm doing a show. Yeah. He knows. This is my best mate, by the way, people. This is my best mate. He knows I'm live, but he's calling me like a dickhead. Oh, bye. Oh, right. Yeah, big up. Yeah, he probably wants to just cuss me. Don't know why. He's a Liverpool fan, actually, but yeah, still probably wants to cuss me. Yeah, look, people want to speak about the Trent into midfield, but we're going to get onto that as well. The substitutions didn't. I don't know what to make of the substitutions. I thought Diaz, as I said, I thought Diaz was our best performer. He takes Diaz off. I don't know. I think Trent goes into midfield. Now, there has been numerous people speaking about Trent, where he needs to play, where he can play. Midfield, right back. I hate Trent in midfield. I hate Trent in midfield. I've said it. And I don't think I'm going to go and change my mind. Of course, if he does get consistent game time in midfield, and of course, if he performs like some people predict, then of course I will change my mind. If the evidence is in front of me and he's playing out of his skin, of course I'll change my mind. But I don't think that will happen. And I hate him in midfield. I have no idea what that change was about and what the thinking behind that was. Gakpo. Jota's should have been pulled off before. So I get the Jota for Nunes. And the Gakpo for Diaz, I don't get myself. I thought Diaz was our most dangerous attacker. And of course, when Mohamed Salah's having the game he was having, which for me was probably a 2 out of 10 performance, or even a 1. I don't know, whatever you want to give him, I'll accept. 1 for turning up, I guess. 2 for playing 90 minutes. That's as far as it goes for me. 1 point for starting. You know, like the FPL, one point for starting and 1 point for completing 90 minutes. But that's it, Mohamed. I'm not giving you a point more because that was a hall of shame stinker. Diogo Jota, same thing. 1 point for starting, 1 point for. Actually, he didn't even get another point for completing 90 minutes. Diogo, you get 1.5, my brother. Diogo gets 1.5. Salah gets 2. Diaz actually gets 3, like hitting the post, being a most potent defender, but he got taken off. McAllister had an indifferent game, but again, he's been playing with a suspected fatigue or injury or muscle issue. I couldn't understand the decisions of Slot pre-game and during the game. People asking about Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai had an horrendous game too as well. They just weren't in sync, guys. Am I right? Like, how many times did Mohamed Salah misplace the pass when normally he plays it right in the path of Szoboszlai? Or right in the path of if Trent is trying to do the underlap. Or Bradley. Bradley comes on. And look, they score the goal. Now, they score the goal from our position where they are waiting for the counter-attack now in transition. So everything that Slot didn't want to happen or doesn't like happening to his teams and how he's trying to formulate us so we don't get countered happened. I rate Hudson-Odoi and Elanga, full of pace, full of directness. Conor Bradley has been brought on with 15 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go in every game. And it's very hard for a fullback to get into the swing of things. And same for Tsimikas on the other side. This is why I didn't understand the thinking, expecting 2 fullbacks to come and influence a game and change the whole momentum. Instead, some people are blaming Conor Bradley. There's not a lot you can do when it's a one-on-one winger in that space. Even though he's coming inside, it's very difficult. And then you also have to realize that a lot of our defenders think, okay, if you're going to shoot from 25 yards out from that position, we've got the best keeper in the world. So we're not overly eager to block it and harass, and we let them shoot. So the percentages, the chances of scoring against Alisson there are low, right? But it was a crisp, clean as a whistle strike from Hudson-Odoi. Some people are questioning, like, should Alisson save it? Really? I can't see how any keeper saves that. Yo, big up Suj, man. If that's the Suj that was on the big 6, oh, it is. I'm sure it is. Big up Grizz, much love. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. Appreciate that, and hope you're doing well, bro. People don't know Suj was my long lost brother that I didn't know I had, man. My lookalike came on the big 6 calling show. I'm gonna bring in Dazza as well to speak with me, to speak with us, to share this I don't know moment. Dazza, even you, a very positive, I'd like to think, always looks on the right side of life.
Yeah.
Not sure if there's anything bright with regards to
No.
or is there?
Not after that, mate. I mean, yeah, I think I just said to you, I think you said it all. I think you said it all perfectly. It was just a combination of wrong decisions by the manager. I think he said in his interview, pre-match interview, didn't he? He said that he's used to playing the same team in the Eredivisie, playing the same team over and over again. Surely there's people that can tell him, and maybe the medical staff, I don't know, but I don't think he should have kept the same team there. You just saw players weren't fresh. At half time, I said in a Discord chat on the Redmen, and I was telling people, I was like, this is worrying. And people, I said, I know we went and beat Ipswich when it was 0-0 at half time. I said, but Forest are a better side. And somebody came back to me and said, Forest are not a better side than Ipswich. And we're at Anfield. And I was like, that's a good point. But under Klopp, I would have been like, we'll go and win this 2-0, easy. But I don't know what Slot's going to do with the way that we play. We should have been 1-0 up before half-time, and then I'll be confident. It was just an absolute shit show. I'm sorry. It was an absolute shit show.
It was. And look, as I said, you're normally a positive guy, and I'm known to be a more positive than a glass full than a glass empty. And sometimes we can go overboard with the reactions on both sides, right? So the people that watched our first 3 games of the season and thought, oh, here we go. You might have been one of them, Dazza. I don't know. But, oh, here we go. Title charge. I think you was. From what I know of you, you was probably one of those rubbing your hands and saying title charge. I'm not calling you out because I know you're a
No, I was.
But people that were saying, oh, title charge, I was saying, sit down, guys, sit down. But now I'm saying sit down to the other ones that are saying, oh, season's over, finished, lack of squad depth, blah, blah, blah. We didn't do this, we didn't do that. I'm telling them to sit down as well. Because where's the middle ground? And this is where I'm at, and I was at the start. I don't know if you watched any of my rubbish in recent weeks where I've said I'm anticipating 3rd. And if we win a trophy, I'm so glad that we've not fallen off a cliff with Arnie Slot in his first season, like Wenger, like Fergie. And people were like, no, 3rd and trophy. No, we need to be challenging. On what basis, on what evidence?
It's kind of like back to life, back to reality, isn't it? It's like this is what we kind of all thought, like mixed messages going through, like that second half. I think I've seen a lot of people say in different on social media, different things. People have said like it was a mix between this is what Slot wants to do, but the players were playing the Klopp way to try and push and get the goal, but it just nothing was happening. I mean, you said about the subs, there was nothing. Absolutely, I don't know where. I don't know where.
Did they make sense? Did they make any sense to you?
No. I mean, but we were all, applauding Slot for being like, and Lee Carsley this last week for playing Trent at right back, and then our manager takes McAllister needs to come off. And then puts Trent in midfield when he's our best right back. He obviously loves Bradley. He obviously thought that Bradley was going to do some overlapping or something. Sorry, my son.
No worries.
I don't know what the thinking was. I thought it was very strange when I heard that Bradley was coming on. I was like, well, he's not taking Trent off this early, is he? That'd be stupid. And then when I saw McAllister, he's going to put Trent into midfield. I was like, it's just mixed messages. And like I say, they were all just all over the place. There was no cohesiveness between them.
I'm just going to put you on mute for a couple of seconds while I read the super chats out. Samuel says, do you think Slot trusts the full squad? I don't know. I mean, what do you mean by that, Samuel? I'm sure he does. If you're talking about in terms of not rotating them in terms of selection, I think it's early to say that yet. I think the further evidence will be needed, and that will come in the next 2-3 weeks because we had 7 games in 21 days. Obviously, with the first ones out of the way now. So now we'll see if he trusts the full squad. I think we'll need more evidence. I think he probably thought squeeze one more game out of a winning formula in the league and then make the changes in Milan because the Champions League format is so long. There's plenty of time for recovery in that, right? So I'm just trying to gauge what he was thinking. So he's probably thinking, play the same team, squeeze 3 points, and then go again in Milan, maybe make a few changes. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that. That's the only thinking I can think of.
Well, I mean,
because you know what they always say, they never change a winning formula, but never change a winning formula. Sorry, maybe, but not when there's an international break in between. And 7, I don't know if you watched the first part of my show where I said 7 of our players, 7 of our starting lineup played every minute for their national team.
Yeah, so he I think he brought that up in his pre-match press conference. I think, and he took that as a positive, and he was like, so they're ready to go again. But this I think this is where the naivety of the Premier League comes in, like as like you. I think he said in the first game against Ipswich about the physicality of Ipswich. Forest did this. Yates, I mean, who the bloody hell is Yates? But he actually owned. He actually owned McAllister. McAllister, what he was doing, like if I was an opposition fan, I'd have been laughing at him. I'd have been saying, "Why are you falling down all the time? Get up on your feet." And Nuno Espirito Santos, former Wolves manager, outdid him.
Yeah, absolutely. I have absolutely no shame. I'm not one of these shameless guys that's only looking at our performance and cussing us. I have to, and you have to. If you're a football watcher, you have to you have to always evaluate the two teams' performances, the two coaches' performances. Never be so much just to focus on your own. And I thought Nuno's game plan, tactics, selection was spot on. Everything that he done worked to a treat. Stay in the game until the 60th minute. I'm going to bring on my big guns, attackers, counter-attackers. And if it's still drawing 0-0, the crowd will be anxious. Liverpool will be anxious. And that's where they will be at their most vulnerable. He was spot on.
And a couple of things there. That guy was spot on. This is the guy that managed Spurs and did F all. He did all right at Wolves with getting them promoted and getting them into Europe and doing what he did. But 2 little things there. One, we played 3 games and Nottingham Forest figured us out already. Have we been figured out?
They had a whole 2 weeks to work on this game. They had a whole 2 weeks to work on this game plan and how they're going to stop Liverpool. He had 2 weeks to study how we've been playing over those 3 games. And we're going to get a lot of this now, Daza. Teams will copy this blueprint. And when I say we, Slot and his coaches, alongside with his players, will have to work out how to overcome this, because it's all well and good coming in against 3 teams, promoted team Ipswich, we're going to go straight down again. Brentford, that was a good performance, good result, and a shit Man United team, right? Some people would say, what was the point of fucking beating Man United when we were going to lose to Forest?
Right. You do, and that's a learning curve for him. You do not lose at Anfield. You do not lose at Anfield. I can't remember how many years it was since we've lost to Forest at home. Something like 60 or 69 years or whatever. No, yeah, you don't. This reminds me. It was a couple of seasons ago or so when we lost to Leeds at home, and I remember I was away. I was shattered. It did me in, and I've been the same today, mate. I've just been depressed all day, and I know football shouldn't do that. I know there's more than that, but it was the performance. It was the seeing what he did. Like I know I'm repeating myself, but seeing what he did with the subs, like it was just like, oh, here we go. Just shove 7 players up front and put 3 defenders. And then, like, people saying, well, if you're going to go three at the back, why wasn't Gerald Quansah there? There's loads of questions,
Well,
more questions, more questions.
Even that. Big up Nat Raj, who's a Man United fan, and obviously has been missing for about God knows how long, but obviously sends in a super chat today of all days. Big up. Stay shameless, Nat Raj. Could not see the forest for the trees, eh? And with a smiling emoji. Of course, Man United are happy. They won a game of football today, and their fiercest rivals lost. So listen, hey, they have every right to be happy. Be happy. Yeah, look, people are talking about Szoboszlai. I've spoken about Salah. What do you think about Szoboszlai in this 10 role, Dazza? I don't know what to make of it. I can see it working or being effective in some games, especially the better teams, especially teams that like to play out from the back, who are more possession-based teams. But teams that get the ball from front to back, I don't think he's effective because his number 10 role is used to press. He's our pressing machine, a pressing monster. He doesn't play the number 10 in the conventional number 10 we've grown up to knowing and watching and reading about, where it's all about invention and getting between the lines and knitting play together. He's not that guy.
He wasn't he? In the last three games, he was doing everything he needed to do. He wasn't great. Nobody was great today. I'm not going to go big in on any player in particular. That just nobody. Everything was just wrong today. Like I said, yeah, I don't know whether what we want to do is right exactly for Szoboszlai. Like at Leipzig, he came in off the left, right. Was it left, right? He came in off the left, and he was a wizard, but that's a different league. Game by game, I don't know, Grizz. I'll be honest with you. I think he's a very talented player, and I think he deserves to be a Liverpool player. But he's still a young lad. More tutelage. We'll see how the season develops.
But in terms of position, where do you see him in, and what kind of role should be given to him?
Well, look at last season. Everybody laughed. Would have said Gravenberch wasn't a number 6 or that pivot of number 6, right? When we bought Szoboszlai, he was an attacking centre midfielder, so that's where he should play. And I think he does have the intelligence to play that role. It's just what Slot is teaching about all the connections between them. He can play any other. No, I was going to say any other team. Yes, that's fine. I think it's the right position for him. I think he can also play the pivot role if you add two 8s.
I prefer him in the pivot role. I prefer him. I don't know, man. I think he can play that role again. I think it should be a horses for courses type situation with Szoboszlai. I think if we need to, there's certain games that it would suit him there, and I think there's certain games that don't suit him there. See, I disagree with you about his intelligence. You think he's an intelligent player? I don't think he is. I think he's
really.
I think he's more.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's more pace and brawn and power. I think he's more physical attributes than the more intelligent, technical type player. He's got a great strike on him. He needs to shoot more. We've seen him score cracking goals for us. Long range, I think he's got engine for life. I don't think knitting the play and finding passes is his strength. His weight of pass is not great. I don't think his vision's great.
I completely disagree. I completely disagree with you there, mate. I think he is an intelligent player. I see. This is calling myself. Obviously, I never got to any. Oh, Chelsea have scored. I see an intelligent player. I do see that he's. I mean, there was the one pass that he put over to Salah where Salah didn't get it quite under control. I see him doing the 1-2s and whatnot. Salah missed him about 4 times today. I absolutely disagree with that, mate.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, if I showed you his stats today about completed passes,
You show me his stats today. What about the last 3 games?
I'll show you his in terms of his passing and knitting the play is non-existent. You'll see the stats of running, pressing, shots, all of that is off the ball stats insane. His energy, how much ground he covers, insane. But you see how many through balls or how many assists or whatever, you won't see anything.
Young
Number
lad,
10, number 10s are different. Your perception of number 10 obviously is different. Yeah, man. I think people are
fair
agreeing
enough.
with me more.
Fair, yeah, fair. I just saw Charlie say 1 good pass in 90 minutes. Yeah, fair.
It's not.
Fair
It's
enough.
not.
But
It's not good enough.
everybody. I'm
No,
saying
everybody was
the
crap.
last 3 games.
No. Everybody was poor. I'm
Yeah.
not singling him out. We're going through the players. He's not. Yeah. He's not as technical as we might have initially thought. He's not. His final pass is shit. Is shit.
Just that.
Handsome Henderson. That's a great shout. I'm gonna actually.
Hey,
use that.
Henderson was all right. He wasn't a bad-looking fella.
He's just a handsome Henderson. I like that. His on the ball work is shambolic at the moment. There's a man. I don't know what you're seeing in that, and I'm a fan of szoboszlai, but I think his attributes are used elsewhere.
Yeah, mate. I've told you many times, mate. I don't know a lot, but I see what
I get it. If you think that, that's fine. I'm not gonna disagree.
I was scared that he was
I'm not
going
gonna
to
say
be
your
tossed.
opinion is right or mine's wrong, but I think the evidence is more in my favor, my opinion, than yours at the moment. Now, if things change, it's only game week 4. And if he continues to play in this role, and his assists and his pass completion rate increases, and assist goals, and his overall technical play improves, then I will hold my hand up. But right now,
the biggest scam ever.
Right now, I don't see what you're seeing, Daz.
You hope to be proved wrong, right?
Wrong, completely.
Yeah,
I love being proved
you
wrong.
hope by the end of this season. You hope that at the end of the season you turn around to me and say, Dazza,
you was absolutely spot on about szoboszlai in the 10. Now, I do think szoboszlai has use to this team. Absolutely. I do think he's got attributes that can be used. Absolutely. I do think he can be played in a midfield. I actually think he'd be a very good number 6. I think alongside Gravenberch, it would be a very physically imposing and great partnership in midfield. Potentially. I think McAllister would be more suited to the number 10 role than szoboszlai, in my opinion. I think McAllister's final pass is more careful, more precise. He's got an eye of the needle pass, but he hasn't got the power and play of szoboszlai. So I think if we were to try that slight tweak of a change, I think it's worth having a look at. But look, he's not the only one. Go on.
I was going to say, I feel like that did happen, I think, in the Man U game, or was it the Ipswich game, where he did drop a little bit deeper and McAllister was... Rotation between the 3 can happen. And I just think that is definitely our best midfield. I say our best midfield. I saw somebody mention Harvey Elliott. It's a shame that this game would have screamed.
Yeah, it was screaming
Elliott.
out. Second half was screaming out Harvey Elliott. And how many times has he come on and changed the game?
Right.
No one else was able to. You think? Look, Mohamed Salah. I don't want to go repeat about Mohamed Salah's performance. I think it was a Hall of Shamer. Like, we praised enough about him, but it's fine to call him out when he has a stinker. I thought he was atrocious. Like, in every way, shape, or form. I don't think his body language...
So is this something to do with the travelling, coming back after international breaks?
I can only guess and assume and hope that it's travelling and so many players being away. And because
I think we just rocked up going, we're going to win today.
But that's fine to have that.
Everybody's told us we're ace.
But that's fine to have that aura and of invincibility. But then you also got to put the effort, and okay, I always find it hard to. I always find it hard to criticize effort and attitude. But would you today?
It was lackadaisical, wasn't it? It was like let's just do what we've been told to do, and we're going to win this game. There was no bite. There was no. Now I'm not a fan going. Don't go to the ground. Obviously, living in America, but I even felt like the stadium didn't get them, and the players shouldn't need the stadium to get them up.
But should the stadium need the players to get them up? It's a two-way thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
you've got to have something to get excited about. We didn't give them any phase of play. I literally think the only time we got remotely excited was when Szoboszlai had that shot blocked, where he went for a corner, where he went through Murillo, who I thought was man of the match. I thought he was a fantastic centre-back performance from Murillo. I think that's the only time that the crowd got a little bit lifted. I don't think even the introduction of the Núñez or Gakpo. I mean, I don't know if we want to talk about that part now.
Did Núñez and Gakpo? Did they even come on the pitch? Were they on the pitch?
Can someone tell me how many touches Núñez got? Because I think it was single figures. In fact, I'd harbor a strong guess that it was probably around 5, if not less, touches.
I don't remember Gakpo, Darwin doing anything. And we know about Darwin, like the type of personality he is. Would he have been? Well, you'd think he'd be there to be like, right, I'm going to make a point here. Watch me do this, but he didn't. He didn't have that. He won that one little ball where I think we had a shot on target.
8 touches.
It was 8 touches. Yeah.
And how many minutes was it? Probably at 25, 20 minutes.
I think they did it at 58 or something like that, 56 or 58. Because I had Jota to score on 58 minutes, and I think he went off 2 minutes before, so I think it was 56 minutes, something like that. Yeah, nobody did anything. Look, how much do we want to delve into
says Núñez was never going to work in that game, Grizz, because they sat in deep there. So then what game is Núñez going to work then? Moving forward, if we're saying it's not suited for Núñez, and we know that 90% of teams will sit deep against us, what's the thinking then? What's the answer? How to play Núñez? If we do play Núñez, if he's got a future at the club, I personally don't think he has. That's just my opinion.
We're early days, aren't we? We're early days. We've got to remember that. We're all
Núñez third season. Núñez is third season.
But
it's his third season.
It's very difficult to see. You're right. It's very difficult to see how he fits into this. He would have started today if
he should have started today. He's been at home training with him for 2 weeks, the best part of 2 weeks. I don't see why he wasn't trusted to start the game today after having another 2 weeks of absolute freshness and training with the coaches at home. Unless Daza is not trusted.
Well, that's the way it's coming across, right? If us as fans, we don't know anything. We're not sat there. Slot could be sat there saying to him, "Hey, mate, you're my guy. You're my guy. As soon as we get to Milan, you're going to be playing. You're going to play the game after that, the game after that." But like you've just said, how does it work if people are going to be sat back, and does he have those touches to lay it off 1-2s, boom, goal? We know that he can shoot. Whether he hits the target or the goalkeeper is a different thing. I think you won't remember, but I think last year we were on a call-in show and there was a massive debate, and I was telling everybody, shut up about Núñez. He's going to be great. He's going to be one of our best strikers ever. Oh God. Do I feel like I'm going to eat my words? Yeah. Because if like you just said, he didn't start after he's just been there 2 weeks training, and Slot doesn't start him. When's he going to start? And like you say, team, and if like you said, 60-70% of the teams are going to do the low block thing.
More. I think 90% of the teams, 90% of the teams that we face will play like that.
Anfield, yeah.
Only Man City, Arsenal. Who else? Man City, Arsenal. I think every other team's going to play like that against us. Anyone else, maybe, guys? Might help me out in the chat. I don't know.
Villa will go out. Villa won't play.
No, Emre won't. Emre will play low block against us.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm wrong again. 95%.
Spurs, maybe. Yeah, maybe Spurs.
Yeah, Tottenham are crazy enough to just let's go.
Yeah. So Spurs,
Highline for life.
Man City, Arsenal will think they can F with us, and rightly so. Everyone else is going to think, right, let's defend, catch them on the break. Let's defend deep. And that's more than 90% if my maths ain't fucked up, as it probably is. But I thought Gakpo was just as ineffective. But I thought I'm not going to blame them solely. I think this is where the conversation goes back towards the coach, Daz, and those substitutions of that formation change that we ended up with was beyond me. Like Tsimikas and Conor Bradley and Virgil as your three centre-backs. I think he lost the plot at that stage.
Yeah. I don't know who was telling him to do what, or whether he was just trying to. Had we got the goals, he would have come across as a mastermind. I mean, I don't know.
No, there was no mastermind. I think it was because I tell you why. He brought on Tsimikas and Bradley to try to create wide positions. Okay, because that's what you would not bring on Bradley and Tsimikas to be centre halves alongside Virgil, because you're bringing on Bradley for his energy and drive, right? Am I wrong or am I right? I might be wrong, guys.
Help me out that's why we brought him on,
right?
Like I said,
Tsimikas' strength. I say strength very loosely, but Tsimikas' strength is going forward. He's two-footed. He's got a lovely delivery on him. Okay? If you're bringing them on and then you're playing them alongside Virgil, and then you're playing them, as centre-backs, you're committing tactical suicide, because now you've got absolutely no width, because Trent has already gone into midfield. Only Mohamed Salah is wide right. Diaz has gone off. Gakpo's inverting. And then you've got just a whole 2 or 3 midfielders that none of them are really runners with the ball apart from Szoboszlai. Like Trent is looking to dictate. Curtis Jones came on and had a stinker. It's very hard for him to get involved in the game. Szoboszlai and Salah already having stinkers. And then Gakpo and Nunes, anonymous. I thought it was a disaster of a substitution, formation change. I think we panicked.
The 6s and 7s, disorder, confusion and disorder. 6s and 7s. That's what it was. I had no idea. I don't even, and that's the problem. The players didn't know what they were doing, which is what I go back to when I was saying they didn't know if they were playing slot ball or clock ball. Like, they didn't know what they were doing. They had no clue. And Forest, just by that point, were just like,
I think
we've done what we needed. I just keep heading that. And you say about they wanted to get the cross in. They've got, I don't know, they've got, you said Murillo, everything smashing away. You keep pumping the ball in the box. We'll keep smashing it away. There was just no idea of what we were doing. I was confused. I didn't know. And if I didn't know, the players didn't know. I think Slot was trying something that he would do in the Eredivisie, and when he's playing somebody down there that they would win. It doesn't happen in the Premier League like that, mate.
It's gonna a wake up call, absolutely. It's not gonna get much easier though, right? Bournemouth, very very similar to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
we'll play in a very similar style. Hey,
yeah, they've just lost to Chelsea 1-0, Bournemouth, so that they'll need points, which we all do. But you're right, yeah, they'll play in a very similar style. They'll watch that game, so it will be very interesting actually, that game, to see how Slot, if he tweaks anything, if he changes anything. What I mean, we've got a game in midweek, obviously.
But shall I be honest with you? I'm not interested in Milan in the midweek. Now, what do I mean by that?
What do you mean by you're not in? Yeah, go on.
Okay, so it's the Champions League, right? And we're so happy and glad that we're back in the Champions League, because Champions League is the biggest club competition in world football, bar none. But for me, all focus and all eyes will be on the next league game already. Like, we were certified 6-point collectors according to every single person in our next 2 league games. And people had high aspirations and hopes of having 15 points after 5 games, possible 5 clean sheets. Wow, 5 wins out of 5. Because people were forecasting and predicting, and rightly so. I'm not saying calm down, guys. How can you think that? And what made us be so arrogant and cocky to think that? Because, listen, 3 wins out of 3, and then you've got Forest and Bournemouth at home. You're allowed to be positive. You're allowed to be up for it. You're allowed to think, hello, this could be an amazing start to the season. So for me, personally, it's such a disastrous result and performance. Now, if the performance was a continuation of chance after chance, and we missed chances and they scored with a freak goal and it was a mistake and refereeing decisions and everything went against us, then you can say, all right, let's go and smash the shit out of Bournemouth next week and all well and good. It wasn't that, Daz. It was a calculated, in my opinion, what we done to Man United, they done to us. It was calculated win. It was a calculated win.
And team, even under Klopp's era, that's what teams tried to do. Hit us on the break and do that, sit there. I think there's many teams that have actually taken points of us doing that, and we're just sat there going, how the fuck did that happen? But this time, we didn't create enough. There was no passion. There was, I don't know what else to say. I'm just repeating myself, to be honest. I was just after the game, I was just fuming at the lack of
what?
Attitude, attitude, passion. I mean, Trent's just come back off England. He's probably like, they're all, you know, you saw the inside Anfield and they're all high five. Oh, 2 man of the match appearance. Or like, I'm the Don, I can do it. But then you've got to get on the pitch and do it again. You can't just rest on your laurels. You've got to do it again. And for Liverpool, fuck England. You got to do it. Sorry. You got to do it for Liverpool. And he didn't today. Oh my goodness. He didn't today. And nobody did today. I don't know what more to say. I'm sorry, Grizz, that I can't be more technical or have more deep dive into it.
No, there's nothing to be, you know, I get it. The bill, it's like how many hours since we still don't know exactly, you know, how to react or what to dissect about that. You know,
collectively, it was a bad day at the office. It was a bad day at the office, a bad day. And I think when we had that controversy last season where we lost to Tottenham, we all came after that game, you know, Matip the own goal. After it, I remember everybody going, we fight, we are Liverpool. Look at that team, what we did, 9 players. You can't say that today. I think that's where the upset and disappointment is. You can't say that players really went for it. That every player was like, we're going to do this for the fans, for us, we're the best. It just wasn't there. And that's what I think upsets me the most.
No, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. It's the even when we go behind, or when we used to go behind with Klopp, 20 minutes to go was ample time to get back into it. There was no stage of the game that I thought we're looking likely to even get back in it. Like the crowd normally gets lifted by. What do you make of
Crowd
this?
didn't.
Okay, so what do you make of this now? There's going to be obviously every coach is different, and we're going to find out that Slot's totally different from Klopp in terms of from an emotional and visible and point of view. Like he doesn't visibly get agitated either way or excited either way, whether it's excitedly happy or angry. Does our crowd need to adapt and adapt very quickly to that, and forget about the coach and get behind the team when it needs us the most? Because we're used to obviously Klopp doing the whole emotional fist pumps and let's go,
Yeah.
get everyone revved up. How will Slot? How does Slot change that? Because he's not going to suddenly change character. He's
No,
like
exactly.
Project Sam says. He's more like this. Slot's more like Rafa. Benitez.
Yeah. And again, go
Not
back
you,
the first
Rafa.
3 games. The first 3 games, we were all like, oh, you see, he's Rafa, and he's winning, and we liked him. People did liken him to Rafa, and Rafa did win the Champions League, and so nobody would give a shit if we'd have won today and we win the next 10 games. And we're, how many games unbeaten? Nobody would. We'd all be jumping up and down. But because we've got this defeat today, now questions are being asked. Like I text you earlier, I said Slot question mark kind of thing. Did he got outdone by Nuno? I know
He got
I'm
outdone.
repeating
There's
myself.
absolutely no shame in saying he got outdone by Nuno Espirito, who is an experienced Premier League coach. Let's not underplay or underrate. Is that the word? Underrate? Downplay like his performance. Like Nuno's performance was A1. Slot's was the first, I don't know, DE. Like obviously, yeah.
Honestly, absolutely. Just think about those subs again. I keep seeing
It keeps coming around. I don't. Yeah.
I'm like, what the actual was he thinking? And I can only put it to that he thought that he was going to do a masterclass, and after at the end of the game, we were all going to be like, he's an absolute genius, isn't he? And
Let me ask Albert if he wants to join us.
Come
Albert,
on,
you want to
Albert.
join us? He's in the chat. Let me know. I'll send you the link. Go on. Sorry. Yeah,
No,
it was.
I
You're
don't-
right. The substitutions were.
I'm just seeing Bradley come out, and I'm like, is he going to take Trent? But he's not going to put Trent in midfield after we've all lambasted Trent about being the best right back in the world and what he can create from there. And then what does it say to Curtis Jones? Do you know what I mean? What does that say to Curtis? You're not. We need to take Mac 10 off, but Curtis, you're not going to be the first person to come in. So what does that say to him? How soon are we going to get to? Oh no, I'm not going there. I'm not going.
No, go there.
Unrest.
No,
I was going
go
to say
there.
how soon are we going to get to like Nunes is like why I just like we've repeated. I've had 2 weeks. I've been here playing for you, and if he's going to keep the same side time and time again, we just had Keller. Fair enough. Keller, what Creven said is what any footballer would say. He wants to play
Absolutely.
game.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
where is there going to be unrest? The players going to? Oh, you see, you naughty boy, Grizz. You're making me doubt our manager already.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not. As absolutely. We're not gonna just criticize and lambast and ask for Slot out. We're gonna try to make sense of it today, today, and then
But if we're saying
today.
he's like, if like some people are mentioning he's like Rafa, well, we know.
Albert, sorry, 1 second. Albert, check your DMs, please. I've sent it to you on DMs because I don't want to put it in the chat because it's not a call-in show today, so I don't want everyone and anyone coming on. We'll do a call-in tomorrow or probably Monday or during the week. I don't want everyone to go mad at the same time. I'm really not in the mood. But I've sent you this link in the DM. Check your Twitter DMs. Samuel sends in a super chat. He says, I feel if Slot continues to have rough results and odd performances, I think fans will ask questions on the board and of the board and owners only if things get worse, though.
So I haven't gone in on the owners today. I mean, I know people are going to question, oh, we should have bought a midfielder. We should have done this. We should have done that. That's done to me. Yeah, you're right. Yes, we should have brought another midfielder and we had one lined up. He decided he wanted to enjoy the mountains. So we know that.
What can I ask you and the chat and everyone? And I just want to chat. What difference would a midfielder made to our... Dazza, forget the chat. You'll get confused and lost if you read the chat. It's not a calling show. Disregard the chat. What difference will a midfielder made to our lackluster attack today? That's all I want to know. Because I thought Gravenberch wasn't the worst player in the team. I think Gravenberch was fine. Not good. Definitely not bad, but was fine.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, he was one of the actual okay players today. He did what he had to as well as he could around the other 10 players.
McAllister was around. Sorry, go on.
Well, McAllister wouldn't have played it. Had we had, let's just say, Zubimendi, McAllister wouldn't have played, wouldn't have started the game, would he? Zubimendi or a other midfielder would have started the game. Curtis was coming back from an injury. How much again does he trust? Oh man, this sounds like I'm going in on the manager, but I'm not.
I think there's elements of. I think sometimes you have to call a spade a spade. Well, everything can't be rosy in the garden, Dazza. Why do you insist on everything being rosy and some people being bulletproof? This is Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah. So okay. So we should have bought another midfielder. We know that, but this is what I've said previously about. I look at the players on the pitch and what they do. That's what I support. I support the players on the pitch and what they do. When I was a kid growing up, I didn't know who bloody owned Liverpool, to be honest. You know, Rick Parry, all that. Nobody gave a shite about that, all that stuff. So I look at what we got on the pitch. But yes, if we'd have had another midfielder today, they would have started ahead of McAllister. Go, Albert. Take it over.
Well, no, I'm gonna before Albert goes, because when Albert goes, he just carries on going, right? So we're gonna let Albert go. But today he has every right to carry on and on and on. But you didn't finish off. Because I need you to be more firm. You're too weak. You're too weak in your criticism, but you're too strong in your praise.
What more do you want?
Why are you struggling to criticize certain aspects? That's what I want to know.
I've said we were shit today. Had we had another midfielder, they would have played instead of McAllister. McAllister would have got on.
How would it have changed? How would it have changed our lackluster, awful, lethargic attack? Because everyone so far in the chat, along with you, has said, "Oh, control." We had control, but it was passive control. It was dead control. There was nothing past the halfway line. How would have a Zubimendi changed anything? So therefore, what I'm trying to say is today isn't about the owners. Today isn't about the signings, because we brought in a Chiesa who's obviously not ready yet. Chiesa, an attacking player, would have made a difference, yes. But we had two players come off the bench, Gakpo, Nunes, who weren't able to make any have any effect at all. But look, we've got Albert, who is opposite of you in terms of he is not shy to criticize. Some people will say he goes in too much, but today I think he has every right to. So the floor is Albert's.
Well, good evening to everybody. Today was a shit show, right? It was a shit show. It was a disaster class. And Slot should understand that there's a big difference between the Premier League and whatever it is he was doing in the decade. It's a big difference. So let me highlight a few things. He shouldn't have started Jota. He shouldn't have started McAllister, for the simple reason that McAllister has been playing too much football. Now, Grizz, you went to the US in the not too distant past. So imagine going to America, playing 2 football matches within 3 days, coming back the next day. Because mind you, Argentina, in terms of where we live geographically, where we are geographically, because I'm in Liverpool right now. Argentina played their match on Wednesday. So he should have given him time off. If anything at all, bring him in later and let Curtis Jones start. I don't want to criticize players that you bring in with 10, 15 minutes to go and ask them to come and make a difference. Sometimes they do make a difference, other times
Sometimes
they
they
don't.
don't.
Right. Chiesa should have been on the bench because no matter how much unfit he is, you could have given him 5 minutes, and if you really wanted somebody who could make a difference, it would have been him. Another thing is that we miss Harvey Elliott. Whatever
Big time.
anybody wants to say about Harvey Elliott, he's the one person who can pick a lock in our team. He's the only one who is unscripted enough to cause defensive problems. Let somebody bring somebody down the edge of the box, let somebody foul somebody in the box, or when he's on song, he will thread a pass. He will put the ball in a place where the goalkeeper, he comes up with stuff. So going back to the window in which we made profit, we are going to find out somewhere along the line that we are sitting on money we shouldn't have been keeping. You ask how Zubimendi would have made a difference. I tell you how Zubimendi would have made a difference. Go and watch the second goal that Spain scored again. Put the ball in a position where you are committing defenders to make a choice. Those sideways passes we were playing, yes, if you have 90% of the ball and you are playing sideways passes, what difference does it make? Having said all that, let's give Nuno credit. He decided he was going to do two things. Make sure he went into the first half, the second half, without having conceded a goal. So if you were watching, he played 6 defenders at the back in the first half. And then he decided to spring his offense in the second half when he felt that our fullbacks would have been tired somewhat. And that's exactly what happened. So let's give them credit for coming to Liverpool, Anfield, and winning for the first time in 55 years. When they last won, I was a baby. And for
I hear
us,
you. I hear you. Okay,
yeah,
I hear you. But I do sense in your tone a bit of sarcastic credit in terms of, and I agree with you.
you're right. I'm being sarcastic.
I know you
That's
are, but
what
I agree
you
with
know
you.
me. You know me,
I
Grace.
know
You
you
know me.
too well,
Yeah, you know me.
but I agree with you. I agree with your sarcastic uh, praising of Forest, whilst at the same time killing off Liverpool and their performance. And I'm talking Liverpool in terms of their players, the coaches, and the fans. Because I think all three having stinkers culminated in that, what
Yeah,
we
it
saw
was a
today,
perfect storm. It was a perfect storm.
in a bad way.
In a bad way, yeah. It
The
was a
fans
perfect
were
storm.
like very cocky and arrogant, maybe. online fans and maybe match-going fans.
Players were cocky and
Players
arrogant.
were maybe getting carried away because they all came back. Like Daza made a great point earlier. Don't know if you heard it, where he said they all went to their national teams, had lovely performances. Everyone was praising them. Trent,
Yep,
Ryan, loads of
yep,
plaudits, lot of love.
yep.
Yo, come on, let's go and smash.
Believing what they were reading in the
Believing
Atlantic.
their
Yeah,
rival, and maybe even our manager. Maybe even our manager believed this is a fucking walk in the park. 3 wins out of 3 clean sheets,
yeah.
controlling passing.
I tell you why. I tell you why I agree with you. Why would you sub on Bradley and keep Trent in the game? What was he thinking?
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, what was he thinking?
I didn't
Why
understand that.
didn't he? If you're subbing and you want an 8, you had this guy sitting on the bench. You had Curtis Jones sitting on the bench. The sooner you would have brought him in, the better. And even if you wanted to reorganize, yes, I accept that he doesn't really fancy Endo. But if you were reorganizing in another way,
I
you could have pushed.
completely I
You could
completely
have
forgot about that. I didn't even know
yeah,
Endo was.
you could have pushed Gravenberch forward and then brought Endo in the 6 because these guys were not offering anything except on the counter. So you could have gone that way. I think that the loss is on him as well. I don't know which percentages to adjudge, but I think it was a perfect storm,
So
a total shit show today.
So Samba says reactionary take. The players couldn't make a correct decision or pass all game. That isn't on slot. Samba, I challenge you. I challenge you to make sense of the selection, B, the tactics during the game in that first half, sorry, and C, the changes he made after the initial 45 minutes. Tell me how you cannot apportion a fair percentage on the manager. We've discussed. I don't know if you've watched the whole show, Samba. Let me know because you may have missed the first part. Because I know I was supposed to go live at 10, and then I went live at 9 because I got back from Birmingham. I was at a wedding today, in Birmingham, which adds to the misery. I was actually in Birmingham. Shout out to all the people in
At least you
Birmingham. I love
spent
you,
your
really.
afternoon productively, my brother.
I love you all. I love you all, including Daz. I know you're close to that way. But
Quinton, yeah.
but Samba, I just want you to explain in a message. And if you want to come on, my friend, let me know and I'll send you the link. I need you to know how
I
is it a
doubt
reactionary take that that
I
wasn't.
doubt if Samba was watching the match, and if he wasn't looking closely at what was going on. And I'll give you one example.
Mhm.
Of the 3 forwards that were playing, which of them played best today? Let's just grant them that they all didn't play to their abilities.
Mhm.
Why did he take off Luis Diaz and not Salah
Or Jota early.
or Jota earlier?
Salah,
Exactly.
Salah is such a difficult one because time and time and time and time again, he has had very poor games, very poor games, but he just does something from somewhere and it means we score a goal. So Salah, I don't know if you missed it, I called Salah's performance today a 2 out of 10. 1 point
Yeah,
for being
it was
selected.
that bad. You see, yeah,
One
but
point for being
Grace,
selected, and people in the chat that are just
Grace,
joining us now,
Grace,
because now we
listen,
have got over 400 people here. Hope you guys
Grace.
have liked the stream.
Let me say this. Between Szoboszlai, Salah, right, and Trent, they gave the ball away 72 times. 72
Wow.
times in that match. So why is anybody saying that Salah couldn't have been taken off? He should have taken him off. You see, as soon as we go into this business of, yes, Mohamed Salah has done many things that mere mortals cannot do.
No. What I'm
But
trying to no. Before you go, I know where you're going, but the reason why I said that, I didn't disagree. I agree that Salah should be taken off. But Salah being taken off is one of those hindsight decisions. And the reason why I say that is because of his previous record. So you're hesitant. On the basis of that game, he should have been he was the worst player on the pitch.
I get it. I
He was
get
the
I
worst,
get what
he
you're
was the
saying.
worst player on the pitch.
I get it. But there must be that one or those one or two occasions where you hook him for his own good.
For his own good.
Yeah, you hook him for his own
So
good. I mean, he was abject, he was woeful. I mean, it was unbelievable. Salah, this is the first. Listen, I am a Mo Salah fan. I'm so much Mo Salah that when Ghana are playing Egypt, I support Egypt. Okay?
Wow.
I'm that Mo Salah. But Mo Salah today was completely pocketed by the Nottingham Forest left fullback. He basically wrapped him up, put him in his fanny pack, and put it around his shoulder. Salah couldn't pass a ball to save his life. He couldn't trap a ball to save his life. He couldn't make a forward pass, a sideways pass. And at that point, you just replace him with somebody. And that's why I'm surprised that
somebody.
Chiesa was not on the pitch. So, like I'm saying, days like today don't happen twice. That's why I am relatively calm. But I must say I'm surprised. And I just hope that they don't take this thing to Milan on Tuesday, because Tuesday is just 3 days away.
I'm gonna let Dazza come in. I think Dazza wants to say a few things, guys.
Yeah, I was just.
2 seconds.
I was
2
gonna.
seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Rajesh sends a super chat. He says LFC was too passive. Not about signings. Slot was always going to have this. That's the EPL. Criticism is fair. It's a new job. It's a new manager's rite of passage. Better to have it now than later. Just a neutral's opinion. Thank you very much, first and foremost, for giving us a neutral's opinion. And thank you for the super chat. Go on, Daz.
I was just going to react to the.
I don't know if you've heard Albert's rant or whatever you want to call it, his assessment or whatever you want to call it. But your turn.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, you're not wrong about Salah at all. I mean, but what would he have done? I mean, he made a mess of all the subs. So who do you put on the right? Would you have gone two up front?
Okay,
what
so
would you have done?
what if you're asking me as if I was Slot, I would have started Nunes. I would have started.
Right. So no, you were saying Salah should have come off, right? And
okay. So you want me to?
not going to disagree, but I'm also thinking like, what would we have done?
In terms of the three forwards, the order of substitution should not have been Diaz first. And I am no fan of Diaz. People
Correct.
in the chat will
I
know
agree.
that I'm no fan of Diaz.
I agree.
Yeah, he should. But I'm fair. And Grizz knows me. I'm fair. I may be loud and obnoxious at times, but I'm fair. Diaz played better than all the three forwards.
Agreed.
So I would have taken them off. Salah first, Jota second, or Jota first, Salah second, and Diaz last. As soon as he took off Diaz, what was left of the little bit we could offer completely fizzled out. We're gone. Because Gakpo did absolutely fuck all. Like, fuck all he did. You know? And Gakpo is also a Ghanaian. So today I'm trying to be fair. He's just like, fuck all. He did fuck all. So I think today was a bad day. Let's consign it to the history of a bad day. Things happen. Sometimes you can go to your most favorite gourmet restaurant and the food doesn't taste as good as it always tastes because the chef was having a fight with his wife. Who knows? So maybe let's give it a buck. Let's say hope it won't happen again. But
Project 5 AM says Slot was doing a Rafa thinking about the Milan game. No chance.
No
because
chance.
his selection suggested
No chance.
His team selection suggested he picked his strongest lineup, the team that's got 3 wins out of 3 clean sheets.
He simply got complacent. That's all. He got complacent. You know, I don't know whether it was on your show or before this week. I said that Forests are very physical, so we needed to protect some of the players. Notice they came out with a hack and mack strategy. They were always putting McAllister on his bottom. They were always hacking him. And, you know, at Liverpool right now, we don't have a Rodri in the middle to protect the players from being beaten up. We haven't sought to do that because we say we have a different approach.
They beat us up
And
today.
yeah, and for all of Jordan Henderson's flaws, he was the minder in our team. He was the one who will go shake up anybody who kicked any of his boys, or he will return the favor, and you won't dare do it again. So these are some of the intricacies that we are being forced to live with, given our past and where we are now. However, our manager should understand that this is not the Eredivisie. This is not halfway crook. This is the big league. This is where you need to sit up and make those in-game changes and make it count, like his predecessor
But the
used to
thing
do.
is, Albert, the thing is, he's been brave with his changes thus far. Before today, he's been very active, proactive, reactive.
And today he went lame. Today he went scared. Why would you bring on? He decided that taking off Trent today was going to be too political, so he didn't take him off.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And that's I'm worried. Not worried. I'm not worried at the moment. It is a one-off. You'd like to think. I agree with you. Sometimes you do go to your favorite restaurant and the food doesn't taste nice. It doesn't mean you stop going to that restaurant. You give
Exactly.
that restaurant a fair few number of times more
Exactly.
chances.
Exactly. Look, my big brother, you've been to many games. Sometimes what you see looking at the coach's body language, you don't see watching on TV, right? The coach was not too happy with Trent. Those looping balls, those long balls, because you know how he wants to play. He wants control. And Trent was losing balls with those long diagonals and those passes that weren't going to anybody. On days that they make hay, they are wonderful to look at. On days that they go wrong, they really go wrong. But somehow or the other, and this is just my guess, I don't want anybody to hold me up to it. He had a mentality of, let me not piss off Trent because they haven't begun his contract talks. Maybe that has been the conversation. Let's mollycoddle him because we don't want him to make a decision that he doesn't want to play for Liverpool again. Whatever it is, the guy needs to go back to the energy that he had, where he wasn't afraid to take decisions in game. Because today he was poor, very poor.
But that's the baffling part. Like, he's made those decisions in previous games, but yet when Trent has played both times for England, Conor Bradley played both times, was it? Conor Bradley played
But for Northern Ireland, he plays all the time.
Yeah.
My problem was not playing not playing either of them. It was playing both of them in the same match. That was the issue for me. And
Now,
if
Trent,
you
I don't know
notice,
about you. What's your view on Trent in midfield, guys? Daza?
Zero.
Are you
Nothing. He shouldn't go there. He should stay where he is.
Yeah,
I
think I already said. Yeah, we were like praising Lee Carsley that finally he's realised who the best right back in the world is, and then our manager, and we were all laughing at Gareth Southgate this last week, and then our manager goes and puts him in midfield.
And he did nothing.
What the fuck are you doing?
He did
Really?
absolutely nothing.
He did nothing. Now I don't know whether you're saying there. I was just listening with what you said about. So you would have brought Trent. You thought Trent was that bad. You'd have brought him
Trent
off.
needed to get off the pitch.
If
If you make a decision to bring on Bradley, you replace Trent. Finish. That's it.
Yeah, I actually would have just left Trent. I wouldn't have brought Bradley on.
Fine. I get that. I don't mind that as well, because one of those piercing passes may just work. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
So don't bring on Bradley at all. But in this particular match, you needed at some point to bring in Endo, because Endo is also very physical, right? But if you're not going to use the players, then don't bring them. Then sell them, like you sold the little kids. Sell all of them.
Yeah, but he tried to sell Endo. I firmly believe Endo isn't part of Slot's plans, and we weren't.
Yeah, but my brother, you have him.
You
right?
got your
I'm not.
tool,
You
yeah.
have him, and everybody is good for something.
I think he
You
plays in
know.
Milan. I think he starts in Milan.
Well, you should do something. You should do something. I
But
don't.
I don't care.
You,
But okay, but this is what I was saying earlier. I genuinely, guys, I know some and a lot will be excited about the Champions League again. We are back where we belong. We are back in the Champions League. I agree.
but I tell you what, Grace. Before you go any further, I think Gravenberg was okay.
I agree with that.
He played well.
Yeah.
No, I agree. But this is my
I think he
initial
was all
point
right.
about the changes and people saying the sun signings and the summer, blah, 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 blah. I have said time and time and time and time and time again, you guys have been on the call-in show with me where I said we didn't do enough. We haven't done enough. I still believe we should have brought in someone. What I was saying, and some people were getting confused in the chat today, was where I'm saying today, and I know Colonel Albert said his part. Today, in my humble opinion, a midfielder wouldn't have made a difference because our performance with the rest of the 8 or 9 players was so bad. But we digress.
Probably wouldn't. I didn't disagree with you there. You just talked about Zubimendi wouldn't have made a difference. And I said that could have because Zubimendi actually placed the ball forward. What we needed to do was, I told you we missed Harvey Elliott. That was the A1 thing. We
Yeah.
missed Harvey Elliott.
100%.
Harvey on in the 73rd minute. Harvey has 18 to 20 minutes. He changes that game because he forces somebody to make a mistake.
100%.
Yeah, that was the A1 thing for me. I was just saying that Zubimendi, the way he plays the ball forward. He
Yeah, but
looks for the
McAllister,
channels,
Gravenberch, Trent, we had enough forward-thinking players, Albert.
but not
Szoboszlai,
over the. You see, not
They're
over the
not.
top. Look
no,
at
you can't say that today.
Grace,
Zubimendi would
Grace.
have made a difference
There's
today.
no disagreement with your position. I'm just saying that today what we needed to do was, you see what Man City do, with all respect or with all the disregard I can have for them, what they do well when they have a low block, what do? They attack the center of that low block and they force mistakes. That's what you need to do with you can't superintend the low block by
Yeah,
going sideways, sideways,
but
sideways.
yeah, but under Klopp, we were very good at breaking down low blocks because we played the way that you just said. We used to force mistakes, gegen press,
Yep.
attack after attack after
Force
attack.
it through the middle.
But guys, ladies, gentlemen, in the chat, we now have a new coach who is trying to implement a new way of attacking, a new way of playing. Not a totally new way, but reinvent the wheel, so to speak, slightly adjust, slightly tweak. This is where we're going to come to a leveling up of the criticism. And as we enter the end part of this show, we're not going to go totally overboard and flip over and get off the roller coaster because we had the high of the first 3 games, and today we just suddenly took a woof. That's how it feels, right? Today it feels like last week I said is a magnificent start to the season. 3 wins, because after that win at Old Trafford, which was all hyper for us, it's Old Trafford, it's Man United. Today was a loss at home to Nottingham Forest, which feels like a disaster. But if we can, in the grand scheme of things, try to level it up and say, if we were offered 9 points out of 4 at the start of the season, would you guys have taken it?
Well, at this point, we have no option. We have to take it.
Well, yeah, as long as that included beating Manchester United, which we did, so I guess we get to live off those days and stick the two
But
fingers up to
Grace,
people like
remember the last
Saeed
time
and
I came on your show, I made mention of the fact that
I'm going to take this call, but you carry on, please, guys. Carry on. I'm just going to take this call.
using Man United as a litmus test is a bad idea because they are not good enough. They are not the Man United standard that we've known. We just have a rivalry with them, and every time we need to exploit that rivalry. But the Manchester United team, as we speak, is not good enough. Today they struggled against Southampton. Yeah, they won 2-0, but they struggled real bad. And if Southampton had taken their chances in the first half, we would have been singing a different song. So, listen, these are, you see, some of the teams, and we made mention, Grace, you made mention that we needed to be careful because some of the teams that we thought were mid have strengthened. And today we saw an example of the strengthening of some of the teams that we thought were mid. Nottingham Forest have gone and strengthened their team. And they played very well today. Granted, they shouldn't have beaten us. Nobody should come to Anfield. But in theory, nobody should come to Anfield and beat us. But they played well because they have the manpower to do what their coach wants them to do. That is where
Yeah.
we went awry in the summer, and we've all spoken about that. Going forward, what do we do? I think our coach should make better tactical decisions. If you need to sub a player because he's not playing well, sub the player, whether the player is waiting for a contract or not, sub the player. Because at the end of the day, it's a team game. He himself has said it's a team game. It's not about individuals. I don't understand why you bring on Conor Bradley when Trent is on the pitch. Because I don't know whether you guys saw it on the TV, because I didn't see it. I wasn't watching TV. I was there. Trent, when the number came up, Trent actually went to the touchline. When he saw Bradley, he actually went to the touchline and the coach told him to go back.
Because he thought it was him.
Yeah, because he thought it was him. So let Grizz, as you can see today, I'm not upset. I just think it was a bad day, like a really bad day all around. That's all.
Daza.
Forest are unbeaten, right?
In 6-7 games, apparently.
Yeah, Forest are unbeaten. We're going to have these days.
I knew it's going to be a hard game. I tweeted and people were like, "Oh, here we go." Grizz being pessimistic. Grizz being playing the card like the underdog card. No, it wasn't an underdog card. I wasn't being pessimistic. I said this is going to be a very awkward and a game of patience. And I also said we're going to concede today, but I hope and I think we will scrape it 2-1. That was my prediction. Everyone was like 4-0, 3-0, blah blah blah. Maybe sometimes listen to me always.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
they
a couple of things.
They probably don't have the history of us and Forest. Forest have never been an easy team for us. Back in the days of Robertson and Gary Bettles and co, and up to today, they've never been easy. 2 seasons ago, they nearly beat us at Anfield. And in fact, they beat us at City Ground, and they nearly beat us at Anfield. Last season, we didn't have it easy against them. If you recall, what happened, the controversy that happened at the City Ground, where we barely won, in the 97th minute, something like that, with Nunez's header. We had issues with them when they came over. They have never been an easy team for us, but they shouldn't have beaten us. They shouldn't have beaten us.
Guys,
we have to, and we will beat Bournemouth next week. We have to. We have to.
changes against Milan. How many?
Well, he's. Oh, you want me to? Let's go through the team real quick. Trent's going to play. Van Dijk's going to play. Quanta,
Why is Trent going to
maybe?
play? Why is Trent going to play? See where you've started. Why? Why is Trent going to play?
Because he's Trent Alexander-Arnold.
He won't play.
In our team.
He won't
I
play.
don't think the coach.
He does like Bradley,
he
doesn't he?
playing.
He does like Bradley. He does like Trent will play.
I don't think.
What's the point of keeping Trent? Wait, hold on. Me and Albert want to ask questions.
Left back.
No, we want to ask you. We want to put your neck on the line here, like, because this is outrageous take from you. Why is Trent going to play?
The best right back in the world is not going to start a Champions League game away against AC Milan.
No,
because he was shit against Nottingham Forest. He was really shit.
Salah was shit all game. He stayed on the pitch for 90 minutes.
Where's Conor Bradley getting his games? So I'm assuming you're going to play Trent.
I don't give a shit about Conor Bradley. I don't give a shit about Conor Bradley, honestly. Trent's the best right back in the. I don't know what Axel Slott's deal is with bringing fullbacks on constantly. Maybe the beginning of the first 3 games, the fitness, whatnot. But no, Trent will play. And if he doesn't, I'll send you a text and I'll apologise.
I know you will, because I know your apologies. I'm already saying I'm gonna pre-text that you're already gonna send it at 7. What time's kickoff? 8 o'clock. Teams will be announced at 7 p.m. Your text will come through at 7:01. I will screenshot it and show everyone.
You know, I really feel another person I really feel sorry for is Robertson, because he's played very well in the last 3 games, and then he makes a really terrible mistake that ends.
Wait, hold on. Let's finish this team lineup for Milan. So Dazza says Trent will play. So Trent's gonna play. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, but so I guess we're gonna go Trent. I reckon he's gonna throw one out there. He's gonna go Konsa. I reckon he's gonna put Virgil. I reckon he's gonna go Timikas, because I think he likes him for some reason. And then the midfield will. I'm thinking Endo. Do you know? I'm thinking Endo, I'm thinking Grav, and I'm thinking McAllister. And I know I bigged up szoboszlai, but maybe he needs a little benching. Gakpo, Nunes, Salah.
I don't think he's going to change anything.
Oh shit!
If he does that, he'll get.
He's wrong. Albert's wrong.
Hiding.
No, he won't. He will change 100%. But I'm intrigued to know your thinking of his thinking.
Because if he didn't change personnel today, why would he go and change them in Milan?
Because I don't think.
Just think about what I said for a minute.
No, I thought about what you said. I'm thinking what I'm thinking, and the reason why I'm thinking. Because maybe I'm thinking from my emotional point of view, which is I don't give a shit about Milan on Tuesday right now. Maybe it'll change tomorrow. Maybe it'll change Monday. But right now, I don't give a shit about
the way
my focus, my concentration.
The way the Champions League has been arranged, you can't go anywhere and lose, because you don't get them at home again.
I think we got enough to not lose at Milan. I know they won 4-0, was it today or something? Or was that a half-time score? What was the final score, people in the chat? Let me know. Milan are not that great.
No, they are not that good. They're not that good. But I also don't want to go there for them to roll us over. Like I said, the current form.
It'll be very bad if we lose 2 games in a row. Very bad.
The current form of the Champions League, you don't get to do over at home if you go and lose. So what we need to do is to make sure that at least we get a draw.
100%.
Let's not forget that it's only the first 2 who go in by right.
Okay, let's have a prediction. So Daz has predicted his team. You think there'll be no changes?
No.
You got about 10 seconds to change your mind.
No, there'll be no changes. I don't want him to play Trent, but he will play him. There'll be no changes.
Okay, you put money on that. Okay, you put money on that, Albert.
Yeah, I will.
You put money on no changes?
No. No, sorry. I beg your pardon.
I'm thinking like Slot. I'm not thinking like you two.
No, but I want you to think like you.
Like me? If you're asking me...
What's your team for Tuesday? Your team.
My personal... Are you asking me what I would do or what Slot
maybe I mistook me. Sorry. Dazza picked his team. What's your team for Tuesday?
So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm playing Bradley instead of Trent.
Right.
I am playing... I'm putting Chiesa on the bench because he's Italian, because he knows the
team first. Can we pick the team?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going Konate and Veg. I'm going Robertson. I'm going Bradley. I'm going Szoboszlai, as painful as it is for me because he was also shit today. Szoboszlai. I am going. I will go McAllister. And then I will go Grav, of course. And then I will go Salah, Nunes, and Diaz.
So that's 1, 2.
I'm making 2 changes.
Only 2 changes?
Yeah. I'm making 2 changes.
Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm being too reactionary, because if I tell you my predicted team, you're not going to say I've lost the plot.
Go for it.
At the moment, I have. At the moment, I've lost the plot. At the moment, Right now, that was so sore. I've lost the plot right now. Maybe I'll calm down tomorrow. Maybe I'll calm down Monday and realize this is the Champions League and this is AC Milan away. Right now, I'm very sore. Right now, I'm very angry. Right now, I'm ready to do a whole heap of changes. Right now, I'm looking Connor Bradley, Gomez, Kwanzaa, Simicat, Endo, Jones, szoboszlai, because of his
Yeah.
energy. Gravenberch. Okay, carry on with Gravenberch. I would rest McAllister.
And
And then
hold
I'm
on,
going,
you just said so you just said Endo, Curtis, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai.
no, I said Gravenberch or szoboszlai.
Oh right, sorry.
And then I'm going Salah, Gakpo, Nunes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're basically playing the Carabao Cup team.
See but this is the thing. I'm mad at the moment. I'm very angry at the moment. My focus is on Bournemouth. I want those fuckers out there today that put in a shithole of performance. I want them ready and raring to go against Anfield.
I think that in all fairness, I said Klopp, sorry, Slot has to wield a certain amount of stick to put these guys on their toes. The level of complacency was shocking. It was absolutely shocking.
So what Grizz is saying is Slot's going to turn around and say, "You lot were absolutely fucking shit
Dog
today.
shit.
You lot go out there, you do this, you do the job, you play on Saturday or Sunday, whatever."
Or
day
it could be
you play against
your
Bournemouth.
theory, or it could be your lot's theory that no, wheel them out again and say fix that bullshit. Because Klopp sometimes used to do that as well. To be honest with you guys, do you remember when we used to think there's going to be a whole heap of changes? Klopp used to say, "Right, go and fix the wrongs of the weekend, and we'll deal with Bournemouth later."
I remember when we
I
were.
guess
I
with this
remember
team,
when we were
sorry,
rounded.
Albert, 1 second.
Sorry.
1 second. I just want to say what we're all giving our teams. What we're actually not doing is tactically thinking about how Milan set up and everything. So he may have a completely different idea about, okay, this player needs to play because of this and this and this. So I'm saying Trent should play. You guys are saying Bradley should play, but he may have good reason because of something that happens down there left that Bradley should play, or something that happens down there left for Trent. I don't know. AC Milan.
I tell you why he
I
will
don't
play
watch Italian
Bradley.
football.
I'll tell you
Hello.
why he will play Bradley. Because of that winger.
Rafael Leao.
Because of Leao.
Yeah.
He will play Bradley.
So
Well, by the way,
great
people are saying,
example.
well, Daz is saying he doesn't know how Milan play, and some people may want to know what the tactical or what the situation at Milan is. I've got a brilliant guest on Monday's preview show, an AC Milan supporter. So make sure you check out the preview to AC Milan Liverpool. He will give us the tactical breakdown of how AC Milan will set up, and then I'll have a better idea. Look, people are saying Grizz has gone mad, and madness from Grizz. And look, as I said, I'm admitting I'm mad right now. I'm admitting I'm angry. I'm admitting I'm possibly overreacting. Tomorrow I may have calmed down. Monday I may have a total different prediction of my team lineup. But right now, I can't stand the majority of them. I can't.
I'm exactly the same. You
Do
know,
you get it?
you said at the beginning of the show, me being like this, I'm normally like, oh, let's give them support. Let's do this. Mate, I'm pissed. There was just no energy, no passion. And that's what I can forgive circumstances that we can lose games, but with no energy, passion, fight. We got bullied today and got beaten, outdone.
Samuel sends
And if it's that simple, we're in trouble.
Samuel sends in a super chat. He says his lineup would be Ali, Trent, Kwanzaa, Virgil. I think Kwanzaa definitely comes in. Ali,
But
Trent.
do you guys know why he took
hold on. Let me just read out his super chat, man. He's sending money to read this out.
Sorry.
Ali, Trent, Kwanzaa, Virgil, Simicas, Endo, Grav, Mac, Diaz, Gakpo, Chiesa starting straight away.
So Samuel, that's pretty much what I said, right? Apart from Chiesa, I said Salah. So I wouldn't. I mean, what would that do if Chiesa started? What would that say to Salah? Does it matter?
No, we want to say,
No.
what would they say to Salah?
Well, there's a world in which he puts Chiesa up as a centre forward.
Nah,
Nah, I don't think so.
not at this point.
It'll be Nunes, man. If this
Oh, no,
if
sorry,
Nunes
yeah.
doesn't start this,
Yes.
then my fears of I don't know about fears, but my opinion of Nunes has no future at Liverpool, I'd confirm it.
I don't think he does, but
No, I don't
we'll
think he
leave-
does either.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
But if he doesn't,
Actually,
but what
it
I'm
could
saying
be
is
as
if he
early
doesn't,
as January.
but what I'm saying, if he doesn't play him on Tuesday, I think that could be the most obvious nail in the coffin. Surely he plays him on Tuesday.
Yeah, well, he should play him, but given the attitude of our owners and our administrators, I'm not looking to sell anybody if we are not bringing anybody in.
For sure.
Yeah,
But we have just brought in an attacker.
yes. And like I said, Chiesa can play as a center forward. Actually, he's a very good center forward. So I will not, and he knows the Italian game. I will not be surprised if he plays a more prominent role from either side of the flank, or because look, if you're going to go to Italy, I don't see him dropping Luis Diaz. Like I've always said, Luis Diaz is not my favorite person, but I'm giving him his flowers. He has stepped it up this season markedly, right? He's not dropping Salah either. You don't go to San Siro and drop Salah. So if this guy is going to play a more prominent role, he's going to play him as a center forward. We'll see. We'll see. We'll watch inside training. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But Slot needs to understand that he's moved to the big leagues, right?
I'll be
He
shocked. I'll be shocked if Chiesa starts. I fully expect him to be.
He
in the
probably won't
squad.
start, but he will play a more prominent role.
But let's
you're gonna
not.
tell-
You know, guys. Do you know who? AC Milan's right back is?
that Theo Hernandez.
Emerson
No?
Royale.
Really?
I mean,
Now
they've got some-
Daza has jinxed the whole fuck out of that because Daza has laughed. Now this is going to get clipped up and played again and again and again because Daza has laughed at Emerson Royale, and I, throughout my fan media career, have been laughing at Emerson Royale. But the last Emerson Royale performance that I witnessed and totally ruined my league title campaign was at Anfield, where he pocketed pretty much. Can't remember was it Mane that season or was it Diaz this season? Where Spurs got a 1-1 draw where we needed a win, and Emerson Royale done an effing job, and I regretted it so much cussing him because I think he's awful as well. So my reaction would normally be like Daza.
One season, that was it. Yeah.
You know, they've got some fucking bargain basement players, man. They've got some fucking TK Maxx players. I mean, Yunus Musa, Christian Pulisic.
He always has a good game against us.
Who's
God.
that?
Pulisic.
Well, man, these are different days, man. Robin
Chelsea.
Loftus-Cheek. I'm talking about starters. Robin Loftus-Cheek. I mean, these are players who didn't make it anywhere. But knowing us, they are the ones who gives us problems.
Tomori, the
Fit-
Chelsea
fit-
player.
You know, it's just AC Milan is almost an extension of, second grade Chelsea. But
West Ham.
hey, yeah, you never know. You never know, man. You never know. So at this point, I am so shell shocked from what I saw today. I'm not making any I'm not making any commitments as to how we will play. If we recover, play well, we win, great start. If we don't do that well, I'll not be surprised either. But the coach must back up because this is on him too. If, like some people are saying, like our buddy John O and others are saying, that Slot was brought in to take the fall, if he goes on like this, then John O will be right. Because he's not always wrong.
Let's finish up the show.
he
and reaction.
predicted that we were going to do this during this season, and I
I'm
contested him strongly, and I have egg on my face.
I'm not I'm not going to end the show on a total downer, man. I refuse to. We've had enough slaughtering of the team and players and coach today, and I absolutely think it's deserved. We even had Daza slaughtering the team and players today. Now that is a turn up for the books. That's how you know how bad it is when Daza's saying he
But I
hated
was
us.
No
calm,
shit.
right? I was cool and calm,
No, no,
right?
Albert, you was. I think you're becoming
You.
very fair in your old age. It's true.
Yeah,
I
well,
think you're becoming. I think you're
just
leveling
after
up.
Nottingham Forest broke my record. They last won at Anfield when I was a baby. Can you believe that? When the last one, Ron Yates was the captain of Liverpool.
Oh, Yates
Listen,
ran there. Another Yates
I
fan was
hope
born.
I hope it was what's the word? A
Yeah, it
freak
was a
result.
fluke. It was a fluke. We don't normally play like this. It was a fluke.
Yeah, let's be pissed off just this once. Let's just be
Please,
pissed off.
please,
If any, when and if more defeats happen, let's hope we went down fighting.
because today was limp.
More defeats will happen. That's the nature of the game.
Of
But the
course,
coach should sit down and at least till January try and survive with this lot. If in January they don't bring anybody in again, then okay. Then we know that this is the game.
January we will talk. Until then, people, Milano, here we come. Let's not lose 2 games in a row because then there will be huge pressure on Bournemouth. Let's avoid defeat against Milan and let's go and smash up Bournemouth so we can get back on track.
Bournemouth will give us looks. If we take them, it's another matter. Bournemouth, the way they play, they'll walk right into our hands. So
I hope so. The wise old Uncle Albert is right. Daza,
mhm.
thank you very much. Albert, thank you very much.
Your pleasure.
Chat, thank us very much, and thank you very much. Like the stream on your way out. Still good 400 of you guys in here. Um, hopefully we didn't. Hopefully we didn't overreact. I'm the only one who overreacted. I think I'm very angry today. I don't normally be this
You were
angry.
Do you
you were
want a
pushing me.
definition of overreaction? Go and watch Husam's stream.
Or is it okay? Fair enough. Yeah, Hussam.
Go and watch his
Hussam's a
monologue.
character. Hussam. Everyone is
Because
different.
unfortunately for them, just a day before, no, 2 days before this match, he said exactly what was going to happen today. He said exactly what was going to happen today was going to happen.
Well, he predicted a loss, 1-0 loss.
What he said was that he's waiting for us to lose. And then when we lose, under the same circumstances he outlined, then he wants those who have been saying, calling him out and saying, we don't need new signings and we don't need new this and we don't need new that. He wants to hear what they will say. He said that just 2 days ago.
Let me read this super chat and I want to respond to that. Yo, what's good says, I wouldn't change the lineup too much. What we saw today is what we saw under Klopp. Rush and ability to create the chances via settled play. Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Fair point. And of course, Ron Yates, you know, huge figure in the Liverpool history. So our commiserations and thoughts with everyone close to him.
Incidentally, today we celebrated his passing, and then his legacy lived on, so we lost.
Yeah. Sad day all round.
Yeah.
Everyone's allowed to react in however they want to react. I'm angry and absolutely pissed off, but I'm not at that vex and I told you this, that stage because I never predicted a title charge. I never predicted we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So maybe different people react differently because of how they've been perceived or what they've been predicting. I'm still there. I predicted third. We are on track for third. Nothing has changed in my head.
Grace, let's hope Arsenal lose tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm Team Spurs tomorrow.
Yeah,
Make sure you guys check us out on the.
you
Make sure you
know.
guys Head over on the Big Six. We're doing a magnificent, massive, huge
Oh,
watch
you're
along
there. You're
tomorrow.
there now.
Well, no, tomorrow we're there. Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We're
Okay.
doing the Big Six watch along tomorrow, live from the studio. It's going to be some event. Until then, over and out. Peace. Take care.
Peace, bro.
Love to you all.